Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be using some new products from Honeybee Stamp's latest Holiday Wishes release. I have their Lovely Layers seasonal frame, decorative star layering frames, peace, love, joy stamp and coordinating dies, and I only showed one paper pad, but I'll be using Holiday Wishes and also Pinstripes and Polka Dots Holiday. For the background of my card, using this beautiful pattern paper with lovely white doves, I'll layer it on one of the green tone-on-tone diagonal stripe papers, put adhesive on the back, add my card front onto a card base. Next, I'll add one of the frame die cuts. This is from the Decorative Star Layering Frame Set, and I cut it out of Vellum. Didn't want to cover up all that beautiful pattern paper for the background, but I still wanted some extra layers, so using Vellum is a good alternative. Using another frame from the same die set, I cut out this fun star tone-on-tone pattern. I love the beautiful design of the frames. They have etched detail all along the edges. I did put some foam dimension on the back of the smaller frame before adhering it on the Vellum frame. Then I'll flip over the Vellum piece, put glue on the back side just behind the pattern paper piece. Then I'll adhere it to the front of my card. For a sentiment, I'm stamping the word peace. I have some white pearlescent cardstock using Catherine Pooler's Spruce ink color. And I am using my mini MISTI just to make sure I get a good impression. And I did let this piece sit for about a minute since I did stamp on pearlescent cardstock. I don't want the ink to smudge. Now I'll line up the coordinating honey cut die. I'll hold it in place with some tacky tape. Now I'll run it through Honeybee Stamp's Bitty Buzz Cutter die cutting machine. I love the small size of the machine. It's perfect for sentiments or small die cut images. Now I'll remove the tacky tape, pop out the sentiment. I love how this turned out, and it has that perfect white border all around the sentiment. Next, I'll put foam dimension on the back of the sentiment using Honeybee Stamp's thin white foam strips, and I will cut some tiny pieces of foam, making sure I get good coverage on the back of the sentiment. For the little swoop from the E that goes underneath the sentiment, I'm using a very narrow strip of foam dimension. There's usually one on the end of the sheet. I'll cut a small piece off of this strip. Then I'll remove the release paper. That way I can manipulate the foam piece around that curve. I have a little bit extra, so I did trim it off. Now I'll remove the release paper and add the word peace on the center of the smallest frame. The stamp set has other sentiments you could add above or below the larger words, but for my card I decided just to stick with the word peace. This will be a Christmas card, so I'll probably stamp a Christmas sentiment on the inside of the card before mailing it out. For a little extra detail, I'm adding some small die cut pieces from the Lovely Layers seasonal frame set, and I'll put them above the word peace. I cut out 2 of the branches, 2 pine cones, and 3 red berries. I'll add the branches first, putting one on the right and left side. And I'm just putting glue at the very bottom part of the branches. That way the ends can lift up slightly for a little more dimension. For a little more detail on the pine cones, I'm using Honeybee Stamp's metallic gold ink. Using my finger, I'll lightly brush some of the lovely gold ink on the end of each of the pine cones. Then I'll put glue on one side of the pine cones, curl up the very end with my fingers. I'm adhering both of those in the center above the word peace. Now I'll add all 3 of the berries above the pine cones. I love how the red color really pops against the background. Put 2 berries on the pine cone and the final berry right above, sort of tucked behind the frame. For a final finishing touch, I'm using Nuvo Crystal Drops. This is the Morning Dew color, putting a coat all over the 3 berries. They have this really shiny finish. So there is my finished card, and I love how this turned out. I just received Honeybee Stamp's Holiday Wishes products, so I haven't had a lot of time to play, but I'm looking forward to making lots more cards using the new items. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.